I do not regret being a vegan for 5.5 years. If I had it to do over again, I can't imagine that I would change anything. There are definite, absolute positives that came with the experience of me being a vegan. Now, I officially stopped being a vegan a couple months ago when I started eating eggs and cheese and fish. But it's not something I feel guilty about. And ultimately, I think for me, one of the main takeaways that forever changed me in a positive way from 5.5 years of being a strict vegan and actually 7 of being vegetarian, because now I can't say that I am now that I eat fish, is that it absolutely made me more emotionally intelligent. Now, I think what happens for a lot of people when they first become vegans, and this definitely was me, is that I didn't know how to harness it. Because imagine a guy who had extreme dyshidrotic eczema on my hands. I was constantly itching and burning, could barely use my fingers, they were getting stiff. That was going on. I was getting constant sinusitis all the time, headaches all the time. And then when I became vegan, all that went away. Plus I lost like 15 pounds and kept it off for like 2 years just by switching over to vegan. Now granted, as time went on and I remained a vegan, the weight started coming back on. But in those first couple years, especially that first year especially, it's like, why wouldn't anybody want to be a vegan? This is the best ever. And at that time, I was still scrolling Facebook. That still mattered to me. I was still playing that silly game that people play on social media. They look at their phone, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the prettiest, funniest, coolest one of them all? Who's the smartest one of them all? And then they're looking for that constant confirmation from people on Facebook. They don't have the confidence and an understanding of their own identity, so they're asking for it constantly on social media. See, I was still in that mindset in my early 30s when I became a vegan. I was still there. So I made a lot of snarky posts on there, really just trying to, I think, getting people to think, but really it doesn't match my identity anymore. I'm gonna give you a few examples. I remember I posted a picture of a guy underneath the cow drinking the udders, just to kind of put in perspective how weird that must be. I compared a chicken's egg to a menstrual cycle of a chicken, things like that. And a lot of people thought it was funny that weren't even vegans, but then a lot of people got mad and Facebook friends were blocked over it. They blocked me, I blocked them. It was really silly, but through that experience, it really taught me how to become more emotionally intelligent, because it helped me realize after I got over that official thing, and I realized, people don't really care that I'm a vegan. They don't really care that I no longer have dyshidrotic eczema and all these headaches and all this. They don't actually care. I'm actually just upsetting people and actually just distancing myself from other people more than anything. No one's impressed by me. No one's impressed by me being a vegan. And it took that experience for me to get to the point where now I'm not looking for confirmation from people. I do whatever works for me. I don't need people to agree with me. I'm not looking for a debate. I think so much of that part of my personality came from me going through that experience, to where it was funny because even 6 months ago, at my new job, no one knew that I was a vegan. I'd been there for months, and then they ordered pizza, and the cat came out of the back. I had to tell them I actually am a vegan, and everyone was surprised. And they ordered a special thing for me without cheese on it, and I ate it with veggies on it, and it worked out. But I kept it a secret. It got to the point where I didn't even want people to know. It wasn't that I was trying to say, this is the best way to be, this is the way you should be. It was like, this is my own thing, and I don't really even want to talk about it. Like, that's how things changed there towards the end. But ultimately, it's very important for me to not identify with extremes and to be labeled so easily. It's very important to me, whatever we're talking about, whether we're talking about politics. I don't ever want to be seen as a Republican or a Democrat. When it comes to, even if I went back to being a vegan, I wouldn't want to be seen as the vegan who goes around making it seem like if you're not vegan, you're a stupid idiot. Nor do I ever want to be the guy who's going through the drive-thru and eating fast food again. So I just want to be in the middle. That's so much my personality. And going through the extreme of being a vegan, it really helped shape my view on the world. And I think lastly, let me say this, I think it goes back to so many people in our culture need confirmation from social media. They need to feel like they're right. It's funny, every day I'll get a comment, whatever the video is. I've got hundreds of videos on this channel, but I've got people who will start out a comment, whether they're talking to me or somebody else, they'll say, no, you're wrong, and then they'll go through this thing. And that's truly a sign of a high conflict personality, of someone who's not emotionally intelligent. Someone who's trying to prove other people wrong, it only shows that they haven't quite figured out their own identity and their confidence level. Someone who you can have views, but when you're not trying to prove people wrong or right, prove yourself right, there's something to be said of that. And it took me being a vegan so that I could get to that point and see that I was that person in my early 30s. And now that I'm at my late 30s, it's really changed my perspective on things. It's really helped me to become more neutral, not trying to prove my way is right, not trying to prove people wrong, just doing what works for me. So that's been my experience. I don't regret being a vegan all those years. And even now, being a kosher pescatarian, I'm not that far from that. Still, you invite me over for a grill out. Oh, we got burgers and hot dogs. Well, what good am I there? You know, I'm still so far removed from society and all those norms. You got comments? I want to see them right here.